Hey, what's up? My name is Beth and this is Star Makeup. So I am super excited. Today we are going to play with the Beauty Bay and Nikki tutorial collaboration. I've had this palette for a while and just haven't been able to get to it. Just in case you don't know what it looks like on the inside, this is it. Obviously we created this nice sunset eye kind of situation today. I will give you my thoughts on how this palette performed at the end. So if you would like to see my first impression on this palette, and if you would like to see how I created this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so as you saw, we are going to play with the Beauty Bay and Nikki Tutorials palette. I've had this sitting here for so long. I haven't done anything with it but swatch it, so I really want to try this out. I know it's not exactly new anymore, but I want to play with it, so here we are. So I'm going to try out the Smashbox primer I picked up from the Sephora sale. So I'm just gonna put some of that on. Don't mind my horrible looking hand. I had one nail snap off on me, and I just haven't really had the time to finish this hand. This hand looks real nice though, doesn't it? I actually had a little bit of bacteria on this index finger, so I'm kind of gonna wait for that to grow out a little bit so that I can snip it off. Okay, so I am going to play with some of the ColourPop brush roll brushes. So I'm going to start out with the E25. It's like a nice packing brush. And because I wanted to play with one of those new ColourPop blushes, I used this one. It's called Chase, and it's that nice like peachy tone. I want to kind of keep with that, but of course I'm me, so I have to go a little dramatic with it too. So thinking I'm gonna start off with the red shade. I'm just gonna pick some of that up, and there are mirrors in this palette, but it's just really awkward that I think it would be awkward anyway to use them. So I'm just laying it on my desk and I'm gonna use this Huda Beauty palette. So I'm gonna do what I normally do and just pack that into my crease. And I'm actually not going to bring it the whole way into my inner corner. I'm kind of just gonna leave this on the outer portion. So I've just kind of got that outer portion of my crease nice and filled with that red. I'm just gonna kind of feather it out with the same brush, just a little bit, just to get the blending process kind of started. So kind of like that. And then I'm gonna switch to this brush. This isn't from the brush roll, but it is a ColourPop. This is the E1. And I'm going to, let's see. I'm gonna go back and forth in between Zomer, which is like a salmon-y kind of shade, and Redemption, which is that orange up in the left-hand corner. And I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth between them and kind of custom mix my own kind of pinky orange shade and see how this works out. And then I'm just going to very gently use that shade to blend out that red. And I'm gonna take it like all the way into my inner corner. I'm trying to keep the depth more, excuse me, more to the outer portion of my eye instead of bringing it all the way in. This is something that I'm just kind of experimenting with lately to see if that helps make my eyes look like less hooded. So far, I mean, these shadows are blending really well. Like, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get this palette, because I thought it was gonna be, you know, a one-time thing. I watched everybody's videos on it, and I saw a lot of people really didn't like it very much. But I don't know. I'm having no problems whatsoever. And normally I would use a primer that I'm a little more familiar with when I'm doing something new. But I really wanted to try this Smashbox primer. And I mean, this is going quite well. I like the way this looks a lot. So I'm very pleased with this so far. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that previous brush, no additional product. And just make sure that everything looks nice and seamless. All right. Yeah, I think that looks great so far. Now I'm gonna go in with the E23, and I'm going to go back and forth between that like bright yellow shade and I guess I'm gonna pick up just a little bit of that orange just to kind of dull that bright yellow down a little bit so it's not so intense, because I mean it's like a really intense yellow. I don't know what it would look like on the eye though, so I'm just scared that it would be like too much. And I'm just gonna be like super gentle. And I don't want this to be like crazy. So I'm being very light-handed, holding the brush all the way at the end of the handle. And just very, very lightly brushing it over my skin. I want to make sure that that like pinky orange is still like there. Okay, and now I'm just gonna kind of go over with the yellow just on the outer portion when I've got like the most amount of pigment on the brush. And then I'm gonna turn my brush sideways and just kind of go over everything very, very lightly. I seem to be having a little bit of problem where I first laid that red down. I can't seem to blend that line out real well, but it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that original brush, pick up just a little bit of the red just to fill in this outer portion of my lid. All right. Oh, I need a flat brush, and I didn't get one out. That's gonna be too big. Hold, please. Okay, here we go, that'll work. Okay, so this is the E26. It's really more of like a packer brush, but we're gonna use it as a flat brush right now because I'm too lazy to get up and walk behind me. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glitter primer on this. And then I'm just going to pat that on my lid and kind of bring it over to where that red is. And then I'm just gonna follow basically my orbital bone. I need a little bit more primer. I'm gonna focus it more towards like the tip of the brush. There we go. Oh, how do I want to do this here? So I think I'm gonna go in with Roxy Catan on the inner portion. Oh, wow. Woo! That was a good choice. This is a pink with kind of like a yellow kind of shift to it. It's beautiful. I don't like the way that it's sitting in my crease though. Maybe I just didn't get enough primer in that spot. So I'm gonna make sure that that's like pulled in on the lower part of my lid there a little bit, and then I don't know what I should have that fade into because I don't want to do that blue. That would be goofy. Maybe Aura? Yeah, that could be cool. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay. So then I'm gonna pick up Aura, which is more of a like orange kind of pink. It's kind of like a deeper version of that other shade. And these shadows, like these shimmer shades, are very, how do I want to explain it? They're really a creamy formula. Like they actually like move around when you're trying to pick them up with the brush. So they're one of those types, which they can sometimes be a little difficult to work with. And this shade in particular, I'm not loving working with it. It kind of looks chunky on my lid, and I'm really not digging that too much. Okay. So that's as good as I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that red and just kind of tap over where those two shades meet. So that way there's a nice blend there. Kind of like that. And then I think I'm just gonna use this brush. I'm gonna have to be really careful though. And I'm just gonna like press this red onto the outer portion of my lower lash line and make sure that it meets up with the red on my lid. And again, I don't want to bring that all the way in because I'm trying to keep that depth out here. Alright, cool. Pretty happy with that. Let's see. I'll go back and forth between the pink and the orange a little bit. And then blend that out. And of course, I want the majority of the pigment in like the middle of my lower lash line, but then of course I do want it to come out here and meet up with the top also. Make sure that we have no harsh line out here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with that yellow. I'm just gonna tap between the yellow and the orange a bit. I'm gonna start it right in the inner portion there. Make sure that we get this to connect out here in the outer portion. Get everything all nice and blended out. Okay. I actually really like this. I'm not super thrilled with this color. I probably shouldn't do that because it's gross. I'm not real thrilled with this color, that Aura shade, because it really looks kind of chunky, but I'll see if I can fiddle with it a bit. Okay, so this is the finished look. And I mean, I really like the way that it turned out. I think it's really pretty. My daughter even said, it looks like the sunset. So yeah, I mean, I do like it, but these shimmers, I mean, they're just way too emollient. Like, it's crazy. I don't know, maybe I can kind of see if I can show you what I mean. Like, I don't... Like, that's just from me pressing in it. Like, do you see how there's this giant lump here now? And that's just because I pressed my finger into it. I mean, it's just... they're very gloopy. That's the only way that I can think of to describe it. Now, I did notice when I did the other eye that I put the glitter glue down and then I just loaded it up. I didn't load it up on the brush. I just picked up a little bit and just like tapped it on top. And that seemed to help a little bit, but they're creasing really bad. And it's really weird. I just have a really hard time believing that Nikki Tutorials like okayed this formula. Blows my mind. And the reason that I wanted this palette was for the shimmers, because when she swatched them in her reveal video, they were just so gorgeous. And they're beautiful. They just don't work real well. So anyway, I used the Beauty Bay crayon eyeliners. This one is in the shade Cotton Candy in my waterline, because I just figured a nice pink would look cute. I tried out this new L'Oreal Air Volume mascara. I'll let you know later how I feel about this. This is one of those ones that, like, when you first get it, it is really wet, and I don't like that at all. So hopefully after I use it a little bit, it'll dry out and we'll see how the formula actually is then. I used Lorella lashes in the style Cancun. Then I also used the BH Cosmetics waterproof lip liner in the shade Sorbet to line my lips, and I used this cute little baby sample from, I guess you pronounce this Mayel, and it's the Clearly Brilliant Tinted Lips, and this is in the shade Nectar. And then of course I used the L'Oreal Telescopic on my lower lash line. So yeah, that is going to be it for this. I don't know if I will be able to do like multiple looks with this palette. Maybe I'll do another look with it, because I would like to see if all of the shimmers were like this. But when I swatched them all, they all did feel very